Yeah, I think it stumps a lot of clients when we're talking about the activities of daily living, because what they're expecting when they apply for disability is just directly their medical stuff. I have arthritis,
Right.
my knees hurt, and then you hit them with, can you do laundry? Can you wash dishes? A lot of times that stumps them. They don't expect
Right.
you to have to talk about that. But that's exactly what you need to talk about, because you're not just getting approved because you have arthritis, and you're not just getting approved because your knees hurt. You're getting approved because your symptoms are preventing you from being able to do these daily chores.
That's right.
And what you've talked about before is we want to be able to ask a client, or Social Security would not really be able to ask a claimant how well they're able to work, because they're
Because
not
they're not
working.
working. Yeah.
And so we substitute that. How well are you able to do daily chores?
Because that's as
Yeah,
close as we're going to get. If you're not
yeah,
working, we're going to try to get, daily activities, which are tasks that pretty much every household
yeah,
is responsible for. And of course, you're not going to be able to do everything that the way you used to. I always tell my clients, I said, make sure that you let your providers know, make sure that you let Social Security know that if you do chores and you do tasks that you used to do, you don't do them as quickly as you
yeah,
used to. You don't do them as completely or accurately as you used to. And then there are those some things that you just can't do. My adult son has to do it for me, or I have a neighbor who has a heart of gold, and they come over twice a week and they're able to do this because I can't do it at all. That's what disabled people say.
yeah,
I don't do it as good as I used to. I don't do it as quickly as I used to, and then there are some things I can't do at all. Well, if you were to just translate all of that into work activity, I don't do it as good as I used to. Okay. All right, so what you're saying is that you're not accurate and you're going to be making some mistakes. Bosses will allow that for maybe a few hours, and then you won't be coming back tomorrow. I don't do it as quickly as I used to do. Well, every job on planet Earth, every single one, has an expected pace to it. I expect you in 8 hours to complete 8 hours worth of work. And I'm the one, as the boss or the employer or the business, I'm the one who has done the research to say, this is what 8 hours should be able to accomplish. Wait a minute, you don't do things as quickly as you used to? No, no, it would take me twice as long. Okay, well, you're fired.
that's a problem. Yeah,
That's right, you're fired. And then there are some things I can't do at all. Okay, well, when a boss finds out that there are some things that he's hired you to do and you can't do them, guess what? Once again, you're fired. You are disabled.
yeah. Yeah, I had a person comment on one of our videos. I don't remember what video it was, but they said that they went a year without doing laundry because it was so difficult for them to do laundry.
Yeah,
And a lot of people would probably read that and ask, like, what on earth does that have to do with a disability case? That has
that's
everything to
huge.
do with a
That's
disability
huge.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's not just reps like me being clever and stuff like that. If I wasn't to say a word in a hearing, if I wasn't to ask you about anything, guarantee that the judge is going to ask you about cooking, cleaning, shopping, driving, laundry, pretty much any household chore. Can you do some light dusting? Can you do sweeping? What about mopping? Who does your dishes if you're not allowed to do dishes? If I don't ask those questions, I can guarantee you the judge is going to, because exactly what you said. Since they don't have any kind of work activity you're doing, they're going to get as close as they can, and activities of daily living, daily household chores, that whether you do them or not, they're expected in all households. If you live in a place that has a kitchen, it's expected that you're going to have some dirty dishes, forks and knives and stuff like that need to be cleaned. If you're wearing clothes, which you should be,
hopefully, yeah.
you're going to have to do laundry, or somebody's going to have to help you with laundry. If you're just living, you're going to expect people to straighten up every once in a while, or you straighten up every once in a while. And there's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with telling Social Security, yeah, I do it. It takes me 5 times as long as it used to, and it's a pathetic job compared to what I used to do. Man, I used to, keep a spotless house. You know, we're talking white glove. You wouldn't find any dust. And that's a joke now. You know, there's no way that I could even dust, but I try to straighten up, and it takes me forever to do it. That's what a disabled person would say.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's a good place to end it. Do you want to do a little recap?
Yeah, I'll do my little recap.
Do a recap.
These are the tipper top most ones. They're not all of them because there are some other things. But the tipper top one, get in and stay in regular ongoing treatment. And that could be with PCP. It could be with a specialist if you have the money for it. It could be psychiatrist or a therapist or a psychologist or a case manager at a mental health facility. Treatment is treatment is treatment. If you go to a family medical practice and you always see the physician's assistant, the PA, that's fine. That's good. Social Security looks at them the same way they look at doctors. Well, I only see, the registered nurse. That's fine. Yeah, that's all right. It's treatment. It's documented. They've come in for this. This is how we're going to treat them, try to help them with their problems. That's medical evidence that I can prove. So get in, stay in, ongoing treatment for your conditions. Second thing, have a cooperative spirit. And that's with everybody. That's with my office, my company, and that's with Social Security. Social Security, asks you to fill out forms, do it. They ask you to fill out forms in 2 weeks, do it. They ask you to go to a consultative exam that they're going to foot the bill for, do it. My case managers ask you to talk to your doctor about get a medical source statement, do it. My case managers say, I need to hear from you, more often than I'm hearing from you. Give us a call like every 2 or 3 weeks. Do it. Have a cooperative spirit. I mean, you're applying for disability, and everybody in the process expects you to be cooperative. We expect it. Social Security expects it. Make it easy on yourself by actually having that cooperative spirit. And then the third one, when you're talking to us, when you're talking to your providers, when you're talking to Social Security, you are applying for disability. We need to hear things that a disabled person would say. We are not applying for ability. So I don't want to hear that you're able to do this, and I can do this, and I can do that, and I can do this. We want to hear, I can't do this, I can't do this, I don't do this as fast as I used to, I do this, but I make mistake after mistake after mistake. That's what a disabled person would say, and that's what we want to hear.
All right. That's a good wrap up.
All right.
If you have a question about your disability case, give us a call at 615-453-9151 Monday through Friday, or click the link in the description of this video.